hundreds of thousands rally against Poland's authoritarian right-wing government. An estimated 500,000 have taken to the streets in Warsaw. The government had assailed reproductive freedoms, attacked the rights of LGBTQ plus people, and cracked down on critical civil society groups and media outlets. This is happening. You're looking at the footage right now of, hundreds of thousands of people gathering, basically letting their government know that they're not gonna take it, they're not gonna sit idly by, they're not gonna be silent, they're gonna let the government know how they feel. Now, described as among the largest political demonstrations in Poland in decades, Sunday's march came amid a growing alarm over the Polish government's ongoing assault on just basic rights. Amnesty International summarized 2022 report on the country. Access to abortion was further limited. Criminal charges were used to curtail freedom of expression. The authorities continue to erode the independence of the judiciary. Freedom of peace assembly was restricted. Violence of LGBTI rights persisted. Further, positive moves were made to accommodate between 1 and 2 million refugees from Ukraine, although official hostility continued towards refugees and migrants who arrived since 2021 via Belarus. So, it's hopping over there in Poland right now. And we see just the different photographs of what is happening there. You see, people are just taken to the streets everywhere, all over the place. So, Max, it's really good to see people rise up in countries where you have authoritarian governments just laying out and making it harder for people to have any type of freedom. I hate that they're going through this, but it is really a positive sign to see people taken to the streets.
Yeah, it's such an incredible turnout. And these are people, young people, old people of all walks of life, who are marching with the energy of people who know where this dark road of authoritarianism ends. They've seen the policy failures of far-right governments measured in bodies, and they are warning their countrymen and they're warning the world. I think this is an inspiration for groups that feel like maybe they're fighting on the back foot against the rise of authoritarianism. But Poland knows a thing or two about solidarity, and it's just incredible to see them all out.
Yeah, it really is. And this, they encourage people worldwide. Now, there's a passage of contentious laws last month, that were passed last month seem to have mobilized greater support for Tusk. So there is a political fight afoot in that country, as well it should be. And this is what that was. The law signed by right-wing President Dula allows for the creation of a commission to investigate Russian influence in Poland. Critics argue that it would have unconstitutional powers, including the capacity to exclude officials from public life for a decade. They fear it will be used by ruling party to remove Tusk and other opponents from public life. And so when we think about the whole notion of absolute power corrupting absolutely, this is an example of that. Further, it is the culmination of authoritarian system developed in Poland over the past 8 years. We are now at a crossroads between being an authoritarian and a democratic country. Yeah, and that's coming from a statement from lawyer and rights activists in that country. Yeah, that's a serious crossroads. So again, Max, good to see the people out there. I hate that they have to be out there fighting this kind of thing, but I hope that the people will prevail. And quite frankly, Max, I hope that they don't get weary in fighting this fight, or in other words, not to get weary in well doing.
Yeah, nor should anyone. It's no coincidence that the first steps this government took to crack down were taking ballot referendums out of the hands of the people and restricting the right to protest. And those are both things that Republicans here are not just championing, but putting forward as their ideal vision for the country. So there is nothing that stops this here except our own lack of vigilance, and we should learn something from them.
Yeah, we should. And Max, I mean, just even in my own state, as you bring up, this is what Republicans are doing in state legislatures, states all across the country, same thing. There will be an initiative on the ballot to make it harder for the people of the state of Ohio, by way of example, to put a referendum on the ballot. So instead of a simple majority, they want to bump it up to a super majority. And they're doing that, again, to clamp down on the power and the voice of the people. And measures like this happening all over the country. So it's not just in Poland. This kind of the spirit, the kind of authoritarian spirit flows all over the world, unfortunately. So we'll keep you all posted on that, and kudos to the people of Poland for standing up the way that they have.